right? So we are going to see about the simple notification service, the pubs up messaging for microservices and then serverless applications. So what is SNS? Okay, what is SMS?
Yes, SMS, right?
Yeah.
Simple message service. Isn't it?
Simple.
Message service.
Why it is called as a simple message service? Yeah, okay, so it's a message service. So here we are saying that simple SNS, simple notification service. What do you mean by this?
There will be a notification.
Yeah. So for example, right? So for anything happen in your application or anything, so for example, if your EC2 instance is stopped, okay, or if you're configuring any kind of a load balancer or anything, like if you wanted to, you can configure SNS, this thing, so that it'll send you an email, email to you automatically, right? So like for example, you can also subscribe to some of the things. For example, about that kind of a Naukri or any kind of a online portal or LinkedIn or anything, right? If you subscribe to somebody, okay, so you'll keep on receiving an emails on top of that. Do you know that? Anybody face that?
Yes, yes, many times. We have
Many.
to unsubscribe from the email.
Yes, yes, yes. So they'll be keep on sending you an updates and that these things through email. But how do they know that? How do they add you to that email address that they have to send you updates to that particular email address? Because for example, if you go for Google, right? If you can subscribe to some of the things in Google, and they'll be keep on sending you a lot of updates through that particular topics, right? So how they have, how do they add your email ID to that particular kind of a services, so that they'll keep on sending you an email addresses. And also, you know that, right? So you know that, for example, you are using mobile, right? So if you're using mobile, okay, so if your data has been getting over today or tomorrow, okay, they'll automatically sending an email and messages saying that your data is getting over tomorrow, or your recharge is getting over tomorrow, and you have to recharge. Yes or no, guys?
Yes, yes,
Yes,
yes.
right. So how will all these things, guys? They'll add this thing, and then they will be creating. So they all having some kind of a notification service. They will send you notification whenever there is a event is occurred. Okay, so that's why they call us a simple notification service is called as a SNS. Okay, so if you can click on go to SNS, they click on SNS, and if you click on SNS, and if you click on this, the simple notification service, it will give you a you know uh, the GUI, like the GUI like this one. So there are two types of SNS is there. Simple notification service is there. So what is a simple notification service? So as I mentioned, like so it'll use to send you the notification, to your subscribers. Okay, if you want to send a notification to the subscribers, whoever is subscribed to you, and then you're going to send an email or messages or anything, right? So now what happens is that I wanted to send an email to some of my subscribers or somebody, like, so I want to notify everybody, like, so this something has happened to my, I mean, so today, so you might have seen that, from the bank they will send an email that, so your maintenance will be going on this Saturday. Okay, all these things, right? So how will you get all these kind of emails? Okay, so for that one, we have two types of email messaging or email or notification systems are there. So one is FIFO, first in and first out, and standard. Okay, so for example, so can you just somebody, like, can you explain me if anybody knows about this standard, first in first out, and standard, all these queues?
First in, first out is like a queue service.
Yeah. So, for example, right? So, I wanted to send a mail message. I mean, so for tomorrow, okay, I'm the geo. I'm kind of a geo network. Okay, so tomorrow I have a 1 million users. For 1 million users, tomorrow is the last day for the recharge. I have to send a message to each and everybody that tomorrow is the last day for your recharge. Okay, so I have two options. One is FIFO queue, and then another one is standard. Okay, I have taken a list of names and email address and everything, messages, phone numbers and everything. I am going to send them a message saying that tomorrow is the last day for your recharge. Please go and recharge. Right. So in this case, what's going to happen is that, okay, so if you choose the FIFO, it strictly preserve the messaging ordering. So if, for example, if you have 1 million phone numbers, it will go one by one. It will go to first, second, third, fourth, fifth, second. So it will go one by one. But if one of the each and every exactly one message delivered at the same time. Okay, so if you can, because it's going to be in order, it's going to be sending you one message at single time. Okay, so high throughput, because it's going to be like, so everything will be, all the efforts will be sent for the only one messages at the time. Okay, and then subscription protocol is only, but this protocol only support SQS. SQS is going to be a next topic. I'm going to cover. So subscription protocol is going to be SQS. Okay, the standard is like, so what do you mean by standard? It's just like kind of a group messages. So for example, you might have sent kind of a broadcast messages from the group, right? Like, for example, you wanted to send a happy new year to your friends. Okay, so what do, you just select the message and go to forward, and you click on, like whoever are the people are there, you just select everything. You select 100 people, you send it everybody at the same time. Like, it will go to 100 people at the same time, right? So anybody have tried that one? I've tried actually, so many times. Anybody have tried? Yeah, nobody's wishing newer messages to your friends, is it?
Yes, yes, we tried.
Yeah, so that is example, right? So if you don't care, you don't care if anybody, some of the messages are not reachable, or it's not delivered to some person or not. Okay, you're just sending message, forwarding message to everybody, and whoever gets it, and they gets it. Okay, if they're not. Okay, so that is what called as a FIFO and standard queues. Okay, so do you have any questions on this one? And I can also give you another example. Okay, so you have a bunch of chocolate, uh, inside the classroom. Okay, one classroom, there is a 100 chocolates are there. So there is 100 people are waiting outside. So what you do is that, if I use first in first out, like, so whoever is coming, whoever is coming inside, you are giving the chocolate, and then they are taking the chocolate, and then they're going out of the classroom. Okay, so, and whoever is coming lost, they get the lost chocolate, and then they go out of the classroom. So now, what's going to be happening in the standard one is that, I'm going to informing to the students that, hey, I have 100 chocolate inside the classroom. Okay, whoever wanted to go first, they can go first, and they can get the chocolate. So what's going to happen now?
All will come at one time.
Everybody will be fighting, right? Everybody,
Mm.
all hands will be in the chocolates, and some chocolates will be scattered, and somebody will get chocolate, and many people won't get chocolate. Right, so the same thing, same concept appears here also, right? First in first out will be guaranteed. Exactly one message delivered means exactly one person will get one chocolate, something like that. Like, what is telling, at least once message delivery. So what means that, at least once message will be, the message will be delivered at least once. Whether the people, I'm giving a chance that, the message, I'm sending the messages to that particular person, doesn't matter that, whether they received or not. Okay, and then I'll be going to somebody else, like that. Okay, so that's the thing. Okay, I'm going to give a topic, right? So topic name will be like, any topic, right? Like, I was just already given a bunch of topics for my mini classes. So I'm just giving like, Dilip, um, mobile mobile topic, or email topic. Okay, I'm just going to give cloud institution, cloud, STITUTION, cloud institution, email. Okay, icon topic. So I'm just giving this name as a topic. Okay, so display name is not required. So encryption, if you want, so encryption means like, if you want to, if you want to enable the encryption, like, so if you, whenever you're sending messages or sending mails, if you want to, if you want that message to be encrypted during the transaction, so then you need to be enabling this one. You can just enable the encryption, so that, so AMS key and all these things, so it will be coming in the future classes. So forget about the encryption for now. And access policy, so there is a, we have seen the policy yesterday, right? So similarly, you can just define a policy that, so SNS publish and removal and delete topic, and then what are the topic, what are the things this SNS topic can do. Okay, so the SNS topic can do everything as by default. If you want to remove some of the things, and then you can just remove it, and then you can just add it. So I'm also going to show you some like something kind of a policy JSON writer maybe in the future. Okay, and now I just leave it with the basic access policy. Data protection policy, data protection means if you wanted to, so these are all kind of not very frequently used, and kind of data, this defines the sensitive data, so monitoring. If you're sending some kind of a passwords or something like, so you can just go advanced, and then you can protect the data. So it will scan and then try to save that data. Okay. Okay, delivery policy. Okay, so HTTP and HTTPS protocols, right? So delivery policy is like, so these are all kind of policy. It defines the policies that how SNS retrieves the failed delivery of HTTPS endpoints. So if some of the endpoints is failed, how are we going to define that one? So this is all okay. We can just define a policy like, so what are the things you need to be doing and all these things. But these are all like, it's not very, very important. But I'm going to tell you all these things, So what is delivery policy is that, if you go for interview, they will ask you this question. So what is delivery policy? So for example, I'm sending a message to one guy, from the SNS. So how many, that's not delivered. Okay. So for example, you are sending WhatsApp message to one person. Okay. So the message is not getting delivered. What you do? Message is not going at all. What you do? Or you're trying to call somebody. Okay. The phone is not ringing. Phone is not at all going. What you do? You're trying to retry one more time, right? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes, right. Okay, so that, you are good mentioning that, how many times you are going to try to reach them. Okay. For
Mhm.
example, you are just sending on mail, so if the mail is not been delivered, how many times I'm going to try to send him a message. Okay, after 3 times, if the guy's phone number is not reachable, then I'm going to drop that message. I'm going to focus on somebody else. Okay. So like retries without delay. So retry without delay means, for example, you're calling somebody. Okay. So that phone number is not going at all, some kind of network issue. So after how much time, after 1 minute or 2 minute or 3 minute, you're going to try it again. So what you also do it without wasting time, again immediately you can also try. Okay. So which means that retry without delay, which means it's zero. Retry with, retry delay retries is zero. You can just change it here, so that it automatically changing it over here as well, right? So you can also use the default policy, and you can also use the change this here, right? So if you can give one or something like that, it'll change it here automatically. Okay. So now if I tell retry without delay, means, so must be lower than the total number of retries. Means that how much time without delay, so without even getting delayed, how much, how many times I should be sending it. Okay. So one time I'll be sending it, without delay I'll be sending it. So minimum delay, like, so 20 seconds minimum delay, like, no, there must be lower than the minimum delay, like. So how much time I should wait to, like, to delay to retry to send it to the next person, something like that, right? So maximum delay, like, I can just wait maximum this much time, then I can just retry try to sending the messages, so I can just wait minimum 20 seconds to, to send the messages. Maximum I can wait till this much seconds. These are all kind of a delivery policies. So you can just set whatever the delivery options, and there are a bunch of options are there. You can just try everything. So there are a lot of concepts are there. You can just try each and everything. So minimum delay retries. How many times minimum I can try, and lower than number of retries. So minimum I should try this much, and maximum I should try this much, and maximum received rate per seconds. How much maximum receive rate means, like like how much messages I should be receiving, maximum. For example, if all the messages are getting failed, so how much time, what's the maximum of the failure messages I should receive. So if you can mention 10, okay, so the 10 messages will be received, so received for you as a delivery delay, right? So rest of the things will be dropped, something like that. So the content type will be text or plain, something like that. So you'll be like, whenever there is some kind of a delay, like delivery, I mean, some of the messages will be getting delivered. You'll be telling that, it will send you the plain text. you know so UTF method. So retry back of function. So linear retry back of function is like, so arithmetic. So like it's going to be like, so the rate at which the delay increase from minimum to maximum, like, so it's going to be like linear, means the delay will be like going gradually, or kind of the arithmetic, like, so the or geometric, and exponential. So all these kind of ways are there. So these are all kind of algorithms will be working internally. You can just work based on that one. So linear is like, it's going with a linear basis. So it's going with a top to bottom, and like, so it's follow the standard kind of a method. Okay, it's good to know about all these things. So but you don't need to worry about all these things whenever, because for real time, whenever you're working on a real time project, you have to be very careful in configuring it. But for the demo purpose, and you don't need to worry about all these things. But they may ask you something about, the exam questions. If you go for appear for AWS exam, they may ask you about all these things. Okay, so please note that one. So delivery status logging. If you want to log something, so you want, what is logging? If you want to log all your messages in somewhere, log delivery status of the protocol. Like, so the settings configure the logging of the message delivery status to the CloudWatch logs. So we already seen the CloudWatch logs. If you wanted to log these messages to the log, for example, if I'm just clicking on SNS, SQS, or for AWS Lambda. Okay, so if you can click on AWS Lambda, or whenever I'm just triggering Lambda, so it will be logged in the CloudWatch logs. So we already seen that, right? Whenever we are triggering Lambda, you can see the logs in Lambda. So did Sweta show that to you?
Yes.
Yes, right. So you can just see the logs in the CloudWatch logs. Okay. So the tags and all these things are, is optional, and then active tracing. And if you want to trace, there is some also comes to X-ray. There is kind of additional concept called X-ray active tracing. You can trace all the activities and everything. So that is some different concepts. So you don't need to worry about that. So now I'm going to create the standard queue, and then create a topic. So topic means I'm going to create one of the topics where I'm going to create a subscription. So topic means, so SNS topic. Inside that, I can just subscribe to somebody, some of the, you know some of the messages or queues and anything, right? So yeah, so here the topics are there. So now I'm created a topic. So it'll take some time. Just let's wait for the SNS topic to be created. Okay, so this is the topic, right? So instead, if you go to the topic, right, so you can just also go to the subscriptions, and you can create subscription. So create subscription. What is subscription? Okay, so who is going to subscribe to this one? So, or if it is going to be Lambda or somebody else, so whenever, if you click on Lambda, and any kind of a Lambda topic, which whenever it is triggering, it will send the notification using this SNS topics. Okay, so for now we can just go ahead and then configure a topic here, and I want to use this topic. Okay, this is a topic name, and the protocol. For example, now I'm going to send an email. Okay, so whenever I'm clicking on SNS, whenever I'm sending that messages from here, so which protocol should trigger, what action should take, whenever I'm just triggering this topic, or sending messages, what action you should take. So I'm just telling that we can also action taken, like, so AWS Lambda kind of, whenever I'm just triggering that SNS, I want that Lambda to be triggered. Okay, so I want that Lambda function should automatically be triggered without me going and running it, right? So SQS also is there, without whenever I'm just triggering this one, SQS also will be able to trigger it. And then the email and JSON, all this thing, HTTP, if you have any HTTP endpoints or SMS, for example, if you go for SMS, so whenever I'm triggering it, I need to send some SMS message to somebody. Okay, something like that, so you can just configure in that way. Okay, and my system is getting slower again. I'm going to see stuff. Which one is taking so much of memory? Okay, so SNS endpoints, so the sandbox definition, you can also add a phone number, you know, so +91. Okay, I'm going to add my phone number. Okay, so if you can add my phone number like this, and then you can just click on messages, that select language. If you can click India, add phone number. I can also add phone number, but we need to follow some kind of a process to to do this. So this not the AWS will not be going to add a phone number for the sandbox to the phone number. So because authorization failure, the message your account is require additional review. Because we need to talk to the AWS to add your phone number for this one. Okay, so I'm going to add an email instead of that one. So email ID, and I'm going to do a cloud institution at the email ID. So I'm going to add the cloud institution at the email ID and then create subscription. So now if I can go here and if I can just click on that Gmail, okay, gmail.com. So I should have been receiving one of the emails, like as I've been added as a subscriber. You want to subscribe to it or not? Okay. So now you can see this one just now, right? Like around 10:52, 10:53, 52 is I got one message just 0 minutes ago. I got one message and you have added as a subscriber and you wanted to subscribe to it. If you click on this one, okay, so it's going to be subscribed to the subscription is confirmed. So I've been subscribed to this topic. Okay, so now subscription, so there is no future policies and like so there is no subscribe. If you go to subscribe subscriptions, so there'll be only one subscription, that will be added to this one. Okay, subscription endpoints for this topic. I've created a subscription on this email ID. Okay, so this is what I have been created. Now I've created a subscription topic, right? So pending confirmation is showing, but we already confirmed. So now it's showing like like confirmed because I have been subscribed to this topic. This is how all your LinkedIn or any kind of a Naukri profiles and everything will be giving you a intimation that you want to subscribe to a few things or not, right? So now I'm going to topic again. Okay, now let's send some messages and let's see that if the message is received or not. Okay, so go to cloud institution topic and then the publish message. So for example, I'm going to tell to this guy saying that so whenever there is a kind of a recharge is getting end tomorrow. Okay, so I'm going to send a message that please recharge. Okay, this is from cloud institution. Okay, the time to live. So you can tell that how much time you need to this message has to be staged, if it is not been sent. Now the message, I'm going to do the same message. Hi, please recharge and regards cloud institution or believe or cloud institution. All right. Okay. So this is the message I'm going to send to this person. Because tomorrow is going to be a last day for the recharge. I'm just telling him that please recharge it. So the types of the attribute string, and if you want to add some kind of string values and all these things, you can just add. Otherwise, you remove it, and then I'm going to publish message. So whenever I'm just publishing a message, what is this going to be doing is that, so it's going to be, it's just send a message. The message publish topic to this conversation successful. Okay, so now what happened for this topic? It's already sent an email to this particular email address that your subscription is getting over, please recharge. Okay, now let's go and see whether we received a message or not. So now, see, I've got an email that please recharge. This is from cloud institution. So hi, please recharge. So this is from cloud institution to our cloud. So this is how you receive a mail from the automatically from so there are from the systems, right? So for example, if you're not working on something else or anything, so whatever the things, then you will be receiving a messages like this. And also you can also have something like, so there are many things, create again I can again create a subscription, and for the same topic you can use lambda. And if you already have some kind of a lambda function is running, it will be showing you over here. Okay, I already have some kind of a python program. I'm going to create a subscription. So whenever I'm just publishing these messages, right? Like whenever I'm just creating publishing these messages, you also seen lambda, right? So whenever I'm just clicking on publishing messages, it's going to be create a subscription for your application. Okay. So similarly, you can also do many things like SNS, SQS, or many things are there. You can create subscription. You can just do kind of whatever the actions you want on these things, like, so they'll be asking you in the interview or anything like what is SNS and why it's been used. And also, like, you can also configure in future. I'm going to tell you that we are going to use SNS topics for many of the applications in the future. Okay, so any questions?
Right now, I don't have any questions. So once I try to do that time,
Okay,
I may.
fine. So this covers the SNS, right? Like you can also do as text messages. Like you can also do some text messages, publish text messages to to the phone number. And again, like, so you need to add the phone number. That for the adding phone number, you need to be getting a the authorization from the AWS, showing that you have to show the identity, original identity and everything, and all these things. So there's a push message out there. You can just create a platform application. You can also do a push messages. Okay, so this is covered the SNS, right? So you can do all these things. There are many kind of concepts out there. You can just try everything, right? So when if there are some kind of a little bit of additional topics or additional things needs to be added with this one, then I can explain. And on Saturday, I will be telling you that, okay, please go and create a email subscription, or please go and create a lambda subscription, or please go and create an SNS SQ subscription. All these things, if I can tell you, then you have to be doing that one. All right. Okay. So today,
Yes.
today is covered that SNS. Okay, and I'm going to cover EFS again. So for Avish and Anish. So EBS is covered for you, Avish and Anish. EBS volume, Harish.
No, sir.
Yeah, EBS volume is not covered for
I
you.
don't think so.
Huh? EBS, you know what is EBS, right? EBS volume, the snapshot and everything.
No, sir.
Okay.
No.
Okay, then I need to take one hour session again for you. Okay, probably tomorrow. Can you just join a little bit early? Okay, so around 9:30, I will cover EBS volume, and then EFS I'll be covering to you. Okay, so that is the only one topic which is not been covered for you guys. Okay,
Yes.
and now today I'm going to cover one more topic called SQS. Okay, SNS and SQS. And SQS is also the same. I don't know. This network is the laptop is being slower when the recording is going on. So I'm going to create SQS. Okay, so what we have seen first is that just understand that the SNS is kind of a simple notification service. So what is the notification service? Is that it can whenever you just want to send some push messages or anything, it can send you a message based on whatever the information it is getting. Okay, so for example, you are subscribed to email. Okay, so whenever there is some kind of events is happening, then it will go into create an event based on that one. Okay, I'm going to give a quick overview about SQS also, like so we can also see that why SQS has been created and what is the purpose of it. It's very slow because this recording is going on from past 45 to 50 minutes now. So that's now the system is getting slower. If I stop the recording, then it should work. Maybe. Which one is taking CPU? Okay. Okay, I think it's getting slower because the recording is going on. So let's cover for Anish and Avish, Harish and Avish. I'll cover these two topics in the morning itself. Then I'll go for a um, this thing like what do we call the next topic SQS, right? SQS and Lambda. Again, I'll be covering. Okay. So far, how many topics has been covered? Can someone explain me? Okay, I'm going to stop recording. It's going to be getting too much delay.